Our area are dealing with the aftermath of this weekend's storm.
Yesterday, our sales were about $500 shorter than normal.
Coming up at 4 o'clock, see how small businesses are reacting to that sleet and snow.
Plus, local crews continue their efforts to clear the roads.
We've got everyone in the street department working.
How much longer it could take to remove the snow and sleet.
And we are taking a live look outside. It's been another warmer afternoon following that freezing fog earlier this morning. Meteorologist Cole Mackes is here with us tonight. And Cole, what's going on out there right now?
Well, it was warmer this afternoon, so we melted a little bit of that snow more than likely, but a refreeze overnight with colder temperatures. We'll see one more warm day before a big cold front comes through. We'll tell you more about that coming up.
Live, local, late breaking. This is 4029 News at 4.
Hey, thanks for joining us. I'm LaKyra Banks.
And I'm Brendan Evans. Glad you're here with us. Breaking this afternoon, the Federal Reserve pushed the pause button on its interest rate cuts today. So the group left its key rate unchanged at about 3.6%. The move signals a cautious approach from Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell.
The economy is growing at a solid pace. The unemployment rate has been broadly stable, and inflation remains somewhat elevated.
The Fed lowered that rate 3 times last year.
Minnesota U.S. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar was attacked last night in Minneapolis. Someone at her town hall sprayed an unknown substance on her before being tackled to the ground. Omar continued the event after.
We are Minnesota strong, and we will stay resilient in the face of whatever they might throw at us.
The attack happened as the city continues grappling with the fatal shootings of Alex Preddy and Renee Good by federal agents. And bitter cold is settling in much of the country.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands of customers across the nation without power. Dangerous temps for many. So in Texas, volunteers with the United Cajun Navy, where they brought people food, gave welfare checks, and even looked for dangerous black ice on rural roads.
We don't deal with ice. We don't deal with this. And it was me running, a few people, making sure that everyone was taken care of.
That massive winter storm claimed the lives of at least 40 people.
The Trump administration is pushing Iran to negotiate a nuclear deal by threatening a military buildup in the region. Iranian officials have reached out to fellow Middle Eastern countries as it tries to bolster support. International leaders are calling for a de-escalation.
The Secretary General calls for maximum restraints and encourages all actors to refrain from any actions that will further increase tension or ignite conflict in the escalation in the wider region.
Meanwhile, tension also building today in Venezuela. Officials are watching the country's interim president as she criticizes the U.S. approach.
All right, back in here in our area, we saw some sunshine today, melting some of that snow. Definitely a nice warm afternoon, but it was a bitterly cold morning. Let's bring in meteorologist Cole Mackes now and your Get Ready Weather forecast.
And Cole, we're looking at another cold night tonight, but warmer for us tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right. So we'll probably see that refreeze again.
Thank you, Cole, and be sure to stay up to date on those changing weather conditions by downloading our free 4029 News app.
We're following breaking news. Students in Springdale will not have class tomorrow. The district closed schools due to the lingering effects of the winter storm.
So, of course, we are tracking all closures across our area for you, and you can find the latest information scrolling along the bottom of your screen and online at 4029tv.com. But if you're watching us on the app, of course, you can always find that full list of closures again on our website.
All right, let's take a live look from Fort Smith. So these are roads I-540 near Kelly Highway, actually much improved from yesterday when we still saw a lot of snow and sleet and slush that's been covering the area. Today's sunshine, warmer temperatures that helped River Valley road crews when it comes to trying to clear that snow and ice from those packed streets.
So in Fort Smith, street department crews are making their way through residential neighborhoods, and residents that we talked to were glad to see them and saying they've been dealing with a bit of cabin fever while stuck at home. In Van Buren, RDOT crews tackled State Highway 59 on Logtown Hill, which has been closed ever since the snow and sleet started falling. The snowpack was hard enough to collapse the plow after several hours and several passes, so that part of the highway is now open once again. Van Buren city crews are also having a tough time clearing many of the side streets that are still covered with that snow and ice.
We've got everyone in the street department working and trying to clear the streets as quickly as possible, but it's still slick in places, so be very, very careful. Hopefully, with the help of the sun and and rising temperatures, we'll be able to get people back to work and also our students back to school.
So the mayor says the crews will keep at it until Van Buren streets are clear. In Fort Smith tonight, it's the first night in nearly a week that street department crews will not be working overnight. The deputy director of streets and traffic control says that crews were having a tough time making progress due to refreezing. And then we do know this now, this just coming into our newsroom. Fayetteville will be closed tomorrow for classes.
Yeah, Pea Ridge as well.
And then turning to this, in Northwest Arkansas, as people are finally able to get out and about since that recent winter storm, local small businesses are seeing more faces as well, but having to close their doors for a few days left an impact.
So let's go to 4029's Carly Gilpin live in Rogers. Carly, what are you seeing out there?
Two sisters accused of vandalizing a memorial for murdered conservative activist Charlie Kirk appeared in court this morning. Carrie Rollo and her sister Kaylee Rollo are each facing a charge of criminal mischief. So the incident happened back in September and it was caught on video.
So both sisters have pleaded not guilty. Their next court date for trial starts February 25th. And the Federal Reserve making its latest interest rates decision.
Inflation has eased significantly from its highs in mid-2022, but remains somewhat elevated.
Next on 4029, how their choice could impact your wallet. Plus, people across the country are dealing with the aftermath of this weekend's winter storm.
I saw my neighbors try to make it up that hill. It didn't work out.
We're seeing more travel trouble as hundreds of thousands of people also are without power.
All right, let's take a live look outside. Warmer this afternoon, but we could see that snow that's melted, that sleet that's melted, could refreeze overnight. But don't worry, your 7-day forecast is coming up, and there's some good news in there. But before we go to break, a look ahead to tomorrow.
Let's get to 4029 meteorologist Drake Foley, who has your early riser forecast. 413, and let's get a check of your get ready traffic. Still seeing snow out on the grassy areas, but on the roads, things look pretty clear there in Fayetteville. Let's travel up I-49 to Rogers. Northbound, southbound lanes clear, traffic flowing pretty smoothly. Seeing a bit more cars out on the roads. And in Fort Smith, looking at I-540 near Rogers Avenue, things looking good, at least in this part of the area.
We continue our breaking news coverage. Closures continuing to roll in. Officials with Rogers and Bentonville schools just announced that they're canceling classes tomorrow as well.
Yeah, so students there join those in Springdale and Fayetteville who will not be in school tomorrow.
Well, tensions in Minneapolis escalated even more as Representative Ilhan Omar attacked at a town hall. Now, meanwhile, President Trump sent his border czar to the city to try and de-escalate. Now, all of this comes in the wake of the fatal shooting of Alex Preddy by federal agents.
Ryan Abel has more. A forecast in our next half hour. But then coming up after the break, people across the country dealing with what's left of last weekend's winter storm. Bitter cold, snow, and ice are causing problems nationwide.
Unfortunately, the people got scammed out of money.
And coming up a bit later at 5 o'clock, each year begins with fresh starts. And for many people, that means moving into a new place. A word of warning from experts, though. They say it's worth being cautious before moving forward. That rental might not be real.